How are we doing? Welcome. AP. Tracy, welcome. And dog. That's a cute name. We gotta give it to you. Welcome. Chef Anna, I'm about to go on live and cooking. 1 minute. My grandson locked himself out. Can you open the door for him, please?
Yes.
Thank you. So today I have a very easy recipe, but yet delicious. And in fact, a few days ago I went to eat at the Vietnamese restaurant. So I sample it, and I like the way they make the meat. So I thought that I will come home and do a replica of it. I may not have the whole recipe, what they included in the ingredients, but I have pretty much idea what I needed to make this dish a delicious, yet still feel that aromas, still feel that a little bit of the oriental touch, right? So today let's go explore that together. I started with I would need about 1.5 pounds. I didn't weigh it completely, but I guessing that it's about 1.5 pounds of chicken breast. So there were 2 large chicken breasts. If you by yourself, or you had just a few people in your house, you can reduce. You can use 1 chicken breast, or you can use the whole chicken breast if you like. But then I thought about adding the pork meat all together. So I could have done separately. I could have, or I can do it chickens or pork. Yeah, we can do that also. We don't have a problem with that. So let's do that instead of mixing together. Let's do two flavors, okay? So because I'm handling the meat, I'm gonna try to use this. So I think this fit better than the one that I had last time. It was terrible. So I don't like wearing gloves. It's just in the way so much. So we're gonna start with this garlic, okay? We need a lot of garlic to help this meat have that unique aroma. Okay, so I'm gonna use about 4 cloves of garlic on each of the meat. Yeah? Or you can add more. If you love garlic like I do, go ahead. No right or wrong in doing this. The more is the better. But if you don't like garlic, then you can use onion powder. Well, if you don't like onion powder, then by all means, make it work, all right? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it work. Okay, so, because of course I cannot go ask the chef, hey, what is in your meat? You know, they would say, it's a secret recipe, we don't share with public. That's fine. I can make something similar to it. It may not be exactly, but you know what, as long I got it going symbolically, I'm cool with that. You know, just like you're making cake, you're making cookies, you're not replicating anybody. You make it because you want to eat it. You know what I mean? So that's where I am also. I make it because I want to eat it. I want to share with family. So it don't matter to me whether it's yellow or green. Yeah, you agree with me? Okay, so you stick with me to the end. Okay, I'm trying to get this done because I have to get out of here by 1:30-ish. So yeah, so I better be quick, huh? Because normally it would take about 2 hours to do this, but do not run away, all right? I mean, stay with me. Maybe we have a conversation. Send me some nice conversation. That would be nice. Tell me where you're from and what kind of food do you like to eat, and do you like cooking like I do, and what kind of food you cook, and what kind of food that is commonly in your region, whether you're from Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, America, Canada. Oh yes, and then I noticed that a lot of my fans on my YouTube are from India, and I appreciate that. Kyrgyzstan, Welcome, friend. I never noticed that, you know, beside America, I would, my channel will reach as far as Turkestan, Pakistan, and Russia, Canada, England. You know what? This internet here are so great. It reached out so far to the end of the four corner of the earth, which is beautiful. That's what I learned about America, and not just America. Okay, let's say the internet in general. Okay, especially the YouTube and the Facebook, and then what else that is amazing, TikTok and Instagram. So because I like the tinge of Oriental, I should have used lemongrass, but my lemongrass is not happy outside. I'm not about to kill it again. My daughter brought it back from California with a big bucket, and then we keep eating it. And every time when we cut it off, it just didn't want to grow back, and that's strange because it does not happen to us when we're in California. So I'm not gonna bother with the lemongrass. I'll leave her alone until. Oh, but then you know what? I had this, right? I bought it from the Asian store, and I cut it up, and I leave just about 2 inches long, you know, on the stem, and then I leave this by the windowsill, and it grow well. But once I take it outside, and it isn't like Las Vegas. Las Vegas is not a place for lemongrass, and I don't know why. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just sharing with you that I have such a terrible experience growing lemongrass in Las Vegas. A family put them together in a well established in a pot already, and we just transport it here by vehicle, you know, because I don't think the way Asian would like us to bring like a big bucket like this on the plane. Oh my goodness. You know, being Asian ain't that cute. You know, when it comes to cooking, we have to have the right kind of ingredients and herbs and spices. You know, I mean, not like American cooking or Mexican food, stuff like that, Italian food or French food. You can easily do it here, get all your ingredients here in America. You know, I mean, you don't have to travel the 7th sea to get it. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so with this, I'm adding the ginger. So in order for it to blend really well, I'm gonna dissect this a little bit. Okay, put this into like a friendlier pieces, so that way it blends really well. Okay. So, but I remember that in the original recipe, I can taste the lemongrass in there. But you know what? I'm not gonna even suffer for it, because if I don't have it, I don't have it. Do you agree? And this knife's cut nothing. Oh my goodness. Hold on, excuse me. Yeah, it's an Asian thing. You won't understand it. You know, the American chef that we use the knife sharpener. You know, I just do what I'm being taught. Okay, I'm not even gonna sweat over. Yeah, I'm not just a regular chef. I'm exceptional Cambodian chef. So I'll do what I'm accustomed to. Okay, so it cut better. I'm not lying. See, right? I mean, a lot better. The knife performance is a lot better. See that? See what I mean? Okay, whatever technique you have, use it. I don't care what everybody else says. Like, that's not the way we do it, Werner. Watch out, you cut yourself. I won't. Stop wishing me bad. Until you wishing me bad, maybe something bad gonna happen. But if you don't wish me bad, nothing bad gonna happen. I'll put it that way. Okay, so because we have meat, different kind of meat, chicken and the pork meat, so we're gonna put it evenly, because we have about the same amount of meat. Okay, then I think that I'm gonna add some baking powder, or just two, like, I don't know, I just feel like something's in there that I can't explain, so I'm not gonna try to explain it. So I'm gonna use about 1 teaspoon of, hold on, might be too much. Okay, I don't like the taste of baking soda anyway. So I'm gonna use the half teaspoon of baking soda. We're gonna put in our meat. Here's the meat. Yeah, you're gonna do the same thing over here. If it go wrong, but you know what? One is done, one is cooked. I don't care what kind of wrong gonna go. It's gonna go in one channel. That is get somebody to eat it. and in this household here, I won't have issue get anybody to eat it. I'm just saying that much. Okay. So I'm gonna use the one tablespoon of chicken bouillon because we want to build the flavor. Okay. You can use vegetable bouillon as well. I'm gonna put in the meat already. Once we mix it, we're gonna have everything in the mixer. And then I have the onion powder also. So we go into, because we want that strong aroma. So we're gonna go ahead and measure it, okay? We're gonna do about a teaspoon, overloaded teaspoon. I'm sorry. A little bit more. That's enough, chef. You've gone too far. Because my grandson allergic to sesame oil, so I'm gonna use avocado oil today. To flop it up, I'm gonna use about 2 tablespoons of oil, so that way it's easy to handle once we have this meat grind up. So I'm not gonna use the old technique grinding, okay, because that's gonna take hours. So I'm gonna use this blender here. So I have my everything in there. Let me find my. I was thinking about adding the curry powder to it. Maybe next time I'll do about half teaspoon. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna use the honey today. I'm gonna be frank and friendly. If you don't like honey. If you don't like honey, you are fine. You're gonna use sugar. Okay. I don't care what you use to make a little bit sweetness to it. Okay. But it's gonna have that little tinge of sweetness. That's what I taste. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make my honey. 1 tablespoon of honey. If you are diabetic, ooh, you know what? It just gave me a new idea. Look, remember I used this this spoon here, measure the oil first, and when I pour the honey on it, look, it slipped right through. It slipped right through. There's no honey, just 1 speck of honey right there. Normally, you know, it will stick to everything that land on. But guess what? Something new. Thank you, Chef Butter. All right. So what did I forget? Oh, to bind them together, I thought of using, because I'm allergic to corn, so that you can that I might eating this, so I'm gonna use the tapioca flour, okay, just to bind them, to make them sticking together. So I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons. See how it go. If it give me issue, I'll add some more, but this should do. Okay. All right. Let's put this thing to work and see if it worked at all. Now remember, this is something that I haven't done before, but I wanted to do it. Okay, so let's do one item at a time. We'll put them together anyway. Mix them up already. Oop. Now I'm about to sneeze for you because all the flour is now flying in the air. Would I miss anything? I hope not. If it is, then it is. I'm not gonna worry. What is this? Garlic powder. Okay, let's put it back. Okay. Baking powder. I have tapioca starch in here. Honey. Do I need sugar? I got honey. Do I need salt? No, I may not need salt. You know why? It might be too salty because I already have 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon. But you know what? I will not guess. I will go ahead and add some salt in that. I'm gonna use half of tablespoon of salt, okay? Because we're gonna wrap it up in noodles and vegetables, so you know it have to have that full flavor. All right. If it does not, then we cover by the dipping sauce, so we should be good. Okay. And if you are low sodium diet kind of person, then do not add extra salt. Okay. Leave it alone, because I don't want anybody to have to end up in the emergency room. So, well, Wanda said to put this much of salt, you know, so I did. So here I ate this thing, and now I'm end up in the emergency room with hypertension activities. I'm doing surgery, so I'm gonna use the surgical. Sorry, all the dust flying around. So I might have too much in here, so I'm gonna use a little bit at a time, okay? And then I will blend them together when we're done blending in here. Because my brain only worked that far, so anything beside that, I didn't go to college for to do all this thinking, you know. So let's blend this first, and then we'll come back and blend the rest. How about that? And then we're gonna end up blending them out here north. So, you know what? I love this blender. My baby daughter Jenna, she got this for me, and I got a few things that like complimentary, like the same color, make it look like I'm in a professional kitchen. Okay, so we're gonna blend this until it blends really well, when the fiber broken and like they stick together. That's what we need. I try to pause it to give this little cutie machine here a break, so that way it's not overheated, and you know it may not be happy with me. At the same token, I'm gonna go ahead and warm up my saute cast iron or iron cast iron. Okay, I'm gonna put a low heat for now. When I need it, it'll be ready. Okay, so I'm gonna put low because we're gonna be done in shortly. So I'm gonna put low. That way, when I need it, it's gonna be boom ready. So you won't be sitting there yawning. When is she gonna be ready? You know, wake me up when you're done. So you see that this thing right here, it worked good, right? It's not like one of those tall blender. That tall blender, I do not like. So let me check if I have the right texture. Yeah, it does. I think to make to help the meat fluffy, I think I need to add ice in it. But let's say it'll work, but if not, you know what? I'm not gonna paint it. I'm not gonna go through paint. And I think at the restaurant, the meat come out pink. I guess they add color, food coloring. I can do that for you too, but let me finish with the mixing first. Okay. I'm gonna need a larger mixing bowl right here. All right. I'm not gonna remove this sucker because last time it gave me so much hard time when I tried to place it back in there. So I'm gonna try to remove the meat out as much as I could. Where's my spatula? Because you know I don't have time to dance with this thing, because I gotta finish this on time, so that way you're not be yawning and say, when is she gonna get done? When is she gonna finish? That's boring. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I remember that. Boring class is the one that you needed to pass your what do you call it, education requirement. I'm using this mixer. If I use the chopping style like I normally do, it will be till tomorrow for real. So it's kind of sticky, right? I mean, because we have tapioca flours, and I put about what, can't remember now, a teaspoon of baking powder. We'll see if it's gonna pop up, and we'll see together. Okay, if I fail, then I have to redesign the recipe, but I'm sure that it's not gonna go wrong. If it does, then you know what, my bad. How you guys doing? I know it's hard to conversate with you when I have all this noise going on, right? But welcome anyway. I'm making pan-seared meat. Call it spring rolls, Vietnamese style. You know, my TikTok people are cool. I have 100, sometimes 300-400 people on here all together, and my Facebook follower will be like, yeah, not interested. I don't like her food. That's okay. I love my TikTok people, my Facebook also. Thank you for being here for me. And then my YouTube. It's more depressing when you try to go do this on Facebook, you know. I mean, I have what, 5,000-6,000 followers on Facebook, but when I go on live and people like be sleeping somewhere, they don't even come out and join you. So that's why it's at Facebook, not getting anything from me. If I want to repost something, I repost. If I'm not, then you'd be lucky if I repost anything or post anything, you know. When it gets serious with me, so I got serious, more serious. But YouTube, I have been, it's been a good amount of support on YouTube. I appreciate that. And on my, I think on TikTok, more people on TikTok, you know what I mean? I don't have the demographic study of where the shows are being viewed from. You know, you can leave me a comment on here and say where you from, you know. I mean, that would be nice. You're welcome to share with me. It's nothing personal. Okay, let me try to put all these small pieces in there first. See if it works better. Okay, I want to make sure that my fresh ingredients are well blended. If it's not, it's not going to hurt me. It's not going to hurt the cooking or anything like that. I don't need to divide the ingredient because we're gonna be mixing it in a moment. So. You know what works even better is to allow the meat to sit for about an hour for the meat to really well form. But because we on a time constriction, we're just gonna do what we need to do, just to get the ideas and the views of how this is done. Okay. But in a normal circumstance, I believe that the meat have to be left in the fridge for an hour. Okay. If it doesn't work for us, then we're just gonna cook this right away. If you don't have her for this, you can leave this in the fridge for about an hour or two. Even an overnight would be fine. It would be nicer to get a big one. Now, it's messy. It would be nice to get a big one, you know, but I like this cute portable blender. And it's affordable. If it died, then if I can return for a new one, I could. If not, who cares? Because this is pork meat, I could have cut it even smaller pieces. It would have been nice because the chicken blend easier, but the pork meat is not. But it's even better if you use shrimp also, you know. But we have to come back for that recipe in another time. You can tell that it's sticky, very sticky, right? And machine is struggling. All right, boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay, we are not gonna try to kill this mixer, a blender. There's some pieces. Let's see. Maybe if I do smaller amount, it'll work better. Okay. I'm gonna put this back in here. I could have cut it smaller pieces, but maybe I should get a bigger one, a more horsepower one. You know, where it goes. You done? Excuse me. It smells good though, you know, I mean the aroma from the gingers and the fresh garlic, it smells so good. Wait until it's cooking and it smells even better. But if I have lemongrass on here, it's gonna take you back all the way to Cambodia. Alright, okay. So now the texture that I like, okay, that I need, because I'll show you what I do with it afterward. Okay, so I have one more left after this, so then we'll be done with the meat. Okay. It looks good. I forgot ice, but I'm not gonna worry about it. We'll do without ice. Ice is just to help with the process of the baking powder to fluff up and, I don't know, stimulate it or something. I'm not quite sure, but the pork meat had a little pinkish color into it, which is already had its own makeup color, so it's good. Okay. think I'm done with the grinding. If you have too much meat and you're not finished it, you just freeze it, okay? Put in the bag and freeze it and date it also. Thank you, grinder. You did a good job. You didn't die on me. I was afraid is that if I grind it too hard, is that it's gonna die, and I'm gonna burn the Indian. But so far so good. I have to thank it. Let me remove this out of the way. Oops, my bad. It's a little warm though. I'm glad that I didn't burn it. I didn't burn the motor. Okay, so I'm done with the meat grinding. So I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. The next step I do is to this is my meat cut roll. I am going to add a little food coloring to give it like a fresh look. Okay, so I went and got my red color. So I'm gonna do like a drop first. Okay. Yeah. Because yeah, it's fine without the dye, but I thought it would give it a nice, beautiful look. You know, I mean, after all, the Cambodians say that they said that the rooster is looking handsome with his feather, you know, because the rooster is more better looking than the hen. And any kind of fowl, any kind of bird species, woman's always like not very attractive, but then she's selecting the most handsome, the most good looking, eligible male to mate with. Consider that she's not that pretty, but she wants someone who's pretty handsome. So all right, one drop didn't do too much of work, so I'm gonna do another drop. There you go. And just to bring a little color, you know, to make it look like look vibrant. And you can do without. I could have done that, but I just want to show you a few options. If you go to the restaurant and you order this spring roll here, or you go to sandwich shop, normally they serve with the sandwich shop, the Vietnamese banh mi shop, okay? And you'll see that, oh, it's all pinky looking, so that's what they did. They just add this beautiful color to it, you know, to make it look like it's to make it look expensive and desirable. Okay, so I got this beautiful texture. Okay, I am going to knead it a little bit longer because I need this to cluster together, so when I roll it and cook it on the stick, that it will not fall off. If it is, then it's unfortunate. And I hope that the starch will hold it together. Let me see. I know it's gonna hold. If it's not, it's gonna be unfortunate. But I'm not planning on doing that. So I'm planning on having a successful meat making. Okay. So it looks good, it looks better, it looks more vibrant, it looks like it's about to get chilly. Okay, so here's this is the pork meat, all right? This is the pork fillings. This is going to be the filling for our spring rolls, folks. Okay, so I just want to prepare this meat in advance and have it rest for a little bit, and while I'm preparing the rest of the fresh ingredients. Okay, that's why I'm wearing this glove, so that way I'm not touching the meat and touching the fresh fruits and vegetables. So I have this baby here sit until we come back to to have a chance to cook this together. We'll cover it and set it aside. I'll do for the same thing for the chicken. The chicken look a little yellowish, like, you know. I will do the same thing for it. I will do 2 drops. Remember? 1, 2. Oop, I have 3 drops in it. Whatever, you know. I couldn't do pink. All right. So, all right, chicky. It's looking pretty already. Right? I give that beautiful look, a beautiful color. It's not depressing looking. You know, Vanya can't have depressing looking meat or anything like that. It gotta look good. It gotta be delicious and looking good. It's just always gonna be. It's gonna be like that. And the meat are so sticking it together, so it's gonna work really well. Once I cook it, it's not gonna fall off the skew. Okay. I'm gonna do just a minute more of this binding here. Okay. If you don't knead them very well, the meat's not gonna stick together very well when you cook it. It's gonna fall right off the stage. This is a show here. Yeah. Remember now, this is replica of the Vietnamese cuisine, is the meat that they use in their spring rolls. Instead of the regular spring rolls where you use the cooked boiled meat or barbecue meat, this is a little bit different. The same concept, just a different type of meat. Sorry about all the pounding. Okay, so it looks good. It blended really well. It looks like that. It looked pretty to me. Okay, it may look disgusting right now because it's not done. Because fresh meat don't look pretty anyway, right? I mean, for those who are vegetarian, you can substitute this with your tofu, your legume. You're fine. And what kind of vegetable you can use: potato, yam, tofu of any of choice, and beans and mung bean, whatever the vegetable that you enjoy, you go ahead and use the same concept. Okay. Because I'm gonna wash my hand really well. I know that I have a glove on, but then I don't trust the process because I'm gonna be preparing my fresh vegetables. So I'll remove everything that potentially had meat on it and get my hand ready. Okay. Looks so cute, baby. Oh, looks so cute. Let me get the hot water going, okay? Because the rice paper will need somewhat, it doesn't have to be boiled water, but it have to be warm for it to quickly softened enough for it to handle, to roll it. So I'm gonna use very low heat on it because I already boiled it in the kettles. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna turn off these skillet first because I have a few more minutes to prepare the fresh ingredients. So the fresh ingredient today is limited. So I have carrots, I have radish, I have cucumber, and then head lettuce. I probably, okay, I'm not gonna mix it because I'm not gonna go do that again. And I have some cilantros. What I do next is to get all my fresh vegetable prepared, okay, because we'll need it part of our fillings. So with the carrots, I'm not gonna be fancy today. I'm just gonna scrape it in a long straight like this. Okay, use one of this. You can get one of these in the Asian store. And you can grate cheese with this also, okay? It had multi-function. So you got ideas, okay? For the cucumber, easy process. I wanted to make a pretty flower, but it won't fit, so I'm just gonna cut it elongate. So that depends on how long do I want my no, hold on, I'll do it differently. Just dice it very thinly, finely, as thin as you could. If you can, then be fine. I think it's easy if I divide this into half. That way. Okay. We're gonna dice this also, okay? It's easier to handle when it's diced in smaller pieces. You can do leaf lettuce also, be pretty. But because I have this vegetable that I need to use it, so I'm gonna use everything I have and anything that I have to make a meal. I'm not gonna even be picky about anything. Okay. I know that we're gonna need more than this, but just for the time's sake, I'm just gonna show you how it's done. So I have cilantros. I'm gonna cut cilantro in smaller pieces also. That way it's easy to eat, to handle, okay? Normally I would just put the whole stem in it, and then when you bite into it, and then you have the cilantro that like trail out of your mouth. So I thought to save the embarrassment, so I'm gonna cut it up like this. Okay, there you go. Okay, and I can add green onions also, because it doesn't matter what you do, it's gonna turn out good. Okay, so normally if you have fresh chive, you can use fresh chive, but like I said, I'm not gonna worry about what I don't have or have. I'm gonna use what I have, and it's gonna work. All right, let's have that ready. And that's all I'm gonna eat today, okay? We're not gonna go crazy about finding something that's hard to get. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this away and I'll cover it to prevent it from drying out. So I have my vegetable now. Okay, I'm gonna cover it also because I'm gonna be handling the meat and cook it. I'm bringing back the meat cutlery. Okay. So we're gonna get the skew. I use this on my on my food arrangement. I saved this. Okay, so you see the length of it's gonna fit in this baking pan here. I mean this pan here. I'm gonna turn it back on into medium low, and already have about 5 tablespoons of oil in the pan here. Let me show you. So I'll bring it back when I'm done with the meat, okay, and how we cook it. So we'll need the skew because we're gonna bind them together and skew it, and we cook it, and then we'll just, when we have enough, I'll show you how to roll them together. I believe this is the pork meat. So again, now I need my surgical glove, because I'll be handling the other part that I can't get my hand contaminated. Oh, can you lower it down because I still can hear it? Ready? Can you lower it down because I still hear it, please? Yes, I can hear it. Thank you. I will need a plate so that we can put our meat, okay? So, I think it's safe to say that I will need about it's about a quarter of a cup or smaller, okay? So it might be too big, I'm not sure, but let's see. Okay, so remember this is very, we already had this meat combined together, right? So we're going to make a piece looking like this, but not too thick though. It's gonna take a long time to cook it, to make. Maybe I just maybe we do about the size of the eggs, okay, and then just roll it up like this until it's become this side here. Okay. I think it might be too big because my egg roll is going to be, my spring roll is going to be about that long. So if we cook this, it's going to shrink. So if it's going to shrink, then I would have to like make it a little bit longer, okay? Or shoot, what did I do? I supposed to wrap around this danky thing. I forgot about that. Okay. So it's fighting with me, so I will need some cooking oil. I do. Ideal is to wrap this meat around this cube. In fact, you know, you don't even have to do this. Why? Make it complicated? Now we do this, so we're gonna lather with oil here so it won't stick onto this cutting board, right? So let's create all the finality. That is for fancy cooking show. I'm fancy, but oh, hold on. But there's a different way of fancy that I make my food. Fancy. Okay, there you go. All right, so if this thing is not moving, then I would need a little help from the spatula. Just scoop it, and because my pans already have some cooking oil on it, okay? So, whoop. Okay, so we're just gonna place it right there, like that. And if it's sticky, I want to use a non-stick pan, but right now let me see if the skillet's going to work well. Okay, so I know that one was a little bit too big, so I'm going to reduce the size to this size. Okay, whatever that is, right? I mean, that's the size, probably up an 8. For the dipping sauce, we're just gonna use the regular sweet and sour sauce, you know, because I'm allergic to peanut sauce, so I can't do the peanut sauce, but then it would be nice to make a peanut sauce. So here we go, my second stretch of meat. This is the pork meat, okay? It's fun. It's fun for me. It is fun. You know, I mean, cooking is fun. I don't know what anybody said, but cooking is fun. Okay. So I'm not having it too thin. I'm not having it too thick. I'm just using my imagination is that this piece of meat will cook quickly. Okay. If you do it thicker, it's gonna be harder to roll and harder to cook. Okay. So like that. Okay. If you like thicker meat, then go ahead and add your ground meat. Make it bigger or smaller, reduce, increase as your desire. Okay, there's no right or wrong way to do this. But if you have it too thick, then it'd be hard to roll it because you have to be able to be flexible enough for you to roll it in the rice paper. How are we doing? Are we doing good? I'm making, well, I have two kinds of meat. For those who just got here, I have pork meat and I have lean pork meat and chicken breast. I use 2 chicken breasts and about 1.5 pounds of each meat. Okay, and I cut into pieces and I grind it. And I'm gonna leave my recipe and ingredients on my YouTube channel, so where all the options are, and you can visit me there and send me your little comment or even a word of hello. and you're fine. And thank you for attending my channel. I appreciate that. Since I've been doing this, I've been getting quite a few more of people who enjoy and help supporting my channel by subscribing and sharing my channel. I really appreciate that. You know, I mean, I don't ask for anything else for return of favor and all the hard work that I put toward my cookings and the times and the money spending toward cooking. That's your cooking. I don't care how you spend your money, but then I mean, I think cooking show is one of the show that you have to really like spend the money to get the ingredients and cook it. Unless you have sponsor where will pay everything for the show, because I don't have that, so everything's come out of pocket. But then the benefit is to feed my family. That's all that matters to me. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So I have egg in there. Okay, let me bring this to you so you see how it looks like. Yeah, so it's cooking right now. I'm cooking it on low, medium low. I'm gonna increase it a little bit to cook it a little bit faster. That way it'll bring that, because we have honey in it, a sweetness in it. I was gonna do skew, but you know what? I'm cool with but I had a little idea that I might try. You stick with me, see if it's gonna work, okay? But let me think about it if I'm gonna do it, okay? Well, the meat come out on one side, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it now before it's burnt, because I almost did. Maybe I did, well, a little bit. But because this is pork meat, I have to make sure they cook really well. So, yeah, I had this one a little bit over the color, but you know what? That's what happened when I talk too much when cooking. Okay, so I had a pretty ideas how I'm gonna create my meat that could have interested you. Okay, so what I'll do is that I would use this here. I would oil it really, really well so that way it's gonna come out okay when I'm done with it. Okay, so let me doing some experimental with you here. If you think that's boring, Vanna, okay, let me do something that's not boring. Okay, just do this and see if it's gonna work. Okay, I'm experimenting this with you, right? So I'm gonna pat it down to about that thin, and I'm gonna use a few of this cookie cutter here to make it look pretty. Yeah, there you go. And we'll remove it and we can cook it. Okay, we have a little what is this flour? What do you call this? Help me out here. Tulip. Okay, so I have my tulip here. See if it's gonna work. All right. I mean, I'm experimenting this just in case somebody said, "Vanna, you are so boring right now, talking too much." I agree. I'm not gonna deny that because I do. I talk a lot. That's part of the cooking show, right? If I don't talk, then you said, "Why are you not saying anything?" And if I do say something, it's like, "Why are you saying too much?" Got to make it in between. I have to interact with all of you before you leave with me. Yeah, it's coming right along. It's cooking. We'll be able to use this momentarily. I think I might have it too big. You know what I mean? If it does, then I'm just gonna chop it up. I'm not gonna sweat over it. See? You know what they're reminding you of? The spam. But you know what? That is the right idea because I do make spring roll of spam before. I'm not gonna lie. Cheap thing, easy, you know. I mean, if you know how to cook, then you know how to cook. No matter what you use it as the meat, you know how to cook. Okay, so all right. So let's make some more flowers and design here. Give a little massage. Give a little love. Right. Oop. See, this is what I love about the cookie cutter is that you can just use your imagination. But I mean, you don't have to do this. It's just me. It's just me. And it's okay to be you. Don't let anybody make a fool. I feel okay being me. I'm a little strange, a little peculiar, but that's me. Oh, I got tulip. Let's flatten a little bit. It looks like a barefoot. You know, like the barefoot. Because it does now look strange. But anyway, I'm gonna stop messing with it, okay? Right. Yeah, but yeah, I mean you can, I mean there's no right or wrong doing this thing. It's gonna make your spring roll look so amazing. With a little design here and there, you know, and look at that. I don't know if it's gonna work, but anyway, it's worth a try. You know, it's gonna worth a try. But already 1 o'clock and I have to leave momentarily. I might have to come back for the second part of this, you know, where I have enough time to do this, because one of my kids need a ride to work, and you know his schedule is right in the middle of my life. And what I do, I'll log back on here to finish our cooking together. Okay, that way you will get the full instruction and see the end result. You know, that's what I say. Sometimes, you know, distraction does happen in every day in our life. You know, but you know, we have to deal with it as positive as we could, so that way we don't overwhelm ourselves. You know. It didn't come out too well with the mold, with the flour, but okay. I think the meat is so fluffy because of the baking powder and yeah, the baking powder and the whatever we have in there, baking powder and cornstarch. I think my meat is done. You know, I mean, it's been cooking there for what, the past 10 minutes or so. I'll use a new spatula. So the meat looking really, really good, like that, the patties. They give a beautiful color like that. And we're just gonna gather them up and leave it until it's cooling down. Okay, I guess when I come back, this will be cool enough for me to wrap it for you. Is that a deal? And I'm sorry for the distraction. You know what I mean? We all have a day where distraction is gonna come no matter what. So notice that I have different spatulas. This is for the cooked meat. This is to turn the meat. And this is for the raw meat. Okay, so we have to remember which one is which. That way we don't make ourselves sick with salmon or whatever. Okay. So I think I have time to do one more batch of the cooked meat, to cook the meat. So you know, I don't like to do part 1, part 2, part 3, whatever it is, you know, because it's annoying. But whatever it is what it is. You know. Oh, I'm just gonna use one. Oh, I hate it. My daughter, she bought me this. It's useless. I hate it. It makes awful noise and yeah. I'm gonna put this flour here. It don't look like a flower, but we'll see if it's gonna stay like a flower. If it's not, I'm not gonna spread over it. Okay. I'm going to make it quick, okay, so that way I will have all the meat done. When I come back, we just roll this. The pan is so hot right now, so I have to be careful not to burn my meat. So I'll keep a close eye on it. Well, I'm done with my pork meat. I still have the chicken meat. So the idea is that you can choose whatever meat that you prefer. Okay, you can use beef also, and tofu and what have you. Tofu, vegetables. Anything that you can make a patty out of, you're welcome to do that. You can try beef. If you love red meat, then go ahead. If you're not too fond of red meat, then options for chickens or pork meat. If you don't eat pork, you're fine. You know, there's so many ways of cooking your meat and getting your meat in your diet. You know, I mean, don't make a big deal out of it. Like, I can't cook because I don't eat like you. I can't cook because I can't get the ingredient like you. Don't be like that. You know, don't give yourself excuses for not doing for cooking. So my little flour, it come out like that. And I apologize for having to take a break and go take care of my Aaron's family. My son, he's an adult, but you know, he lives in this household also. He has a regular job and he hasn't been able to get his driver license here in the state of Nevada. He has driving permit. So for those who have driving permit, know that you cannot drive by yourself. You have to have another driver license holder to sit with you. That will be your guidance and your coach and your teacher. So if your kid have driving permit, it doesn't mean that he or she can go off driving by herself. Not like that. Okay, parents and adults have to accompany, and someone who have good driving record to be with. Someone who drive very well and that obey all the traffic law and stuff like that. You don't want people who have driving record to teach your kid how to drive. I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying, okay? I mean, I have nothing against people who have driving records. So this is the tulips. It looks like a bear. But you know what? The idea is that you can be creative. You can use any kind of cookie cutter to make your meat relatively beautiful besides boring patterns, okay? But if you're not for that, you say, Vanna, we're going to eat this anyway. Why are we even bothered to make it a different pattern? I'm cool with that, But because I love pretty food, and that's why I always try to make amends to have pretty food. Thank you for sending the heart. I'm not sure who's here. I know only a few people that will send me zillion of heart just to show me love and affections, and I appreciate that. My eyes blur right now. I'm not blind, but I'm half blind. But I can't read because it's such a fine print. But thank you for the heart. Thank you for the little gift. I appreciate it. Okay. So because I'm done with the pork meat, I'm gonna remove all my equipment, all my contaminated pieces. I'm just gonna cook this meat until it's done, and then I will come back and finish the rest of cooking for you. I'm gonna show you how to combine this in a little roll, okay, spring roll. And if you have already done this, know how to do this, you're cool. You're welcome to stay with me and enjoy and perhaps learn a new technique to do a few things. Because for me, even I can cook really well. I enjoy watching other people, how they cook theirs and how they prepare their food. That's a big, it's always more room to improve, okay? It's always room to improve. Don't say that, well, I'm a master chef, I don't care about anybody else cooking. It's true, I mean, it don't matter how old or how good, how well you are, and we're too old to learn. So I never sampled this. The aroma of the fresh garlic, the ginger, it's that combination you never miss. It derived, I mean, it helped minimize the smell of the pork. You know how pork sometimes it had that game meat smell, not smile. What am I doing that for? Shoot, girlfriend, speak right English. That's what happened when I'm trying to translate to another language, to another English level of language. Like I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Brittany.
Yeah.
Who's here, baby? Your mom home?
No.
Who's home?
My brother, my cousin.
Okay, Grandma's gonna be gone for a little bit. Can you not touch anything around here until I come back? I'll finish up the cooking and then I'll feed you guys.
Where are you going?
I have to take your uncle to work, remember?
Okay.
So these are the I cooked meat earlier. I burned a little bit, but yeah, because I have my pan on too high. But then no worry. This is my tulip. It's looking pretty though. You know, if I play around with it, I will have all kind of nice design. Okay. So, because I need my meat to cool down before I wrap it, or I can wrap it warm, which will, if I wrap it warm, then my fresh vegetable will affect by it. So I'm gonna leave it cover to let it cool down a little bit, okay? And then when it cool down enough for me to wrap it, by the time I'm back, this will cool down significantly. Will be just a perfect temperature that I needed to wrap my spring roll with. Okay. So I will log back on here another, not even an hour. Okay, you will get notification when you come around. You'll see me back on here. Then I'll be ready to roll my spring rolls. Yeah. I love the tulip though. It turned out like that. I have 2, 3, but the other one didn't turn out like that. But I have my other flower looking like that. The patty. And my other star or flower. Ooh, I have to put it back. Because I have raw meat on there. Yeah. So my meat are done. So when I come back, I might cook the chicken, or I might not. Okay, it depends. But if you find, you get the ideas, right? I don't have it and be cooking the chicken for you. It's the same concept. Okay, just flat it out and cook it on a hot skillet. Can be non-stick, or make sure that it's medium low. Okay, if you cook it high heat, it's not going to cook and it's going to burn, and we're not going to deal with raw meat or uncooked meat. Okay, it's going to cook really well because we're going to eat this with the fresh vegetable in the wrap. So I just cook it really well, and that's all it is. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off all my cooking equipment. So when I come back, hopefully that this will already cool enough for me to handle and wrap it. Okay, it's a little bit burny because the honey, and then what else I have in there? Yeah, because the honey sometimes will burn quickly. Okay, but it had this beautiful texture that I need, so long it cooked really well, and if it's a little burnt, I'm fine with it. Okay? I mean, you can have it like golden brown, would be the option for it, you know. But I just want to make sure that my meat cooked thoroughly, you know. If it needed to cook a little bit longer, I would do. But just to show you, the inside of the meat is spongy, a little spongy. You know why? Because we did put a teaspoon of baking powder, so it helped rise up the meat. So it's a little spongy, which is, that's a texture that I taste when I was in the restaurant. Okay? So I know that by adding a little bit of baking powder will rise up the meat. Okay, so the ingredient, all the salt and peppers, it blend in so well. It's delicious actually. So when I come back, if this getting too big, I can slice it into half. Okay, divide it into half, or cut it into nicer shape, which is makeable. So like this here, we wanted a perfect shape, so I just gonna shape it up. Right? I mean, that's me. If perfection is an issue, then that's what we do. But if there's no perfection, then I mean, leave it alone. It's like that. I know it look a little burnt, but then you know what? It's not even taste like it's burning, because the honey, that is the block that we need. Okay, and the honey, because we cook with honey, we have to be quick to turn it, so that way it does not turn too browny. Oh. Oh. It tastes so good. If not careful, I might eat all this before we wrap it, huh? Because it's later in the day. I haven't had my lunch, so I'm hungry. So, baby girl, can you make sure no one's eating this before I come back?
Okay.
You know, I have someone that loves to eat, so he likes to sneak around food. He already had his breakfast, but doesn't mean that he's gonna stop eating. All right, so okay, my beautiful friends, my beautiful followers, my patrons, I have my meat ready for the rolls. So the moment that I'll be missing, it'll be about 45 an hour at the most. Okay, I'll be here before an hour's up, and then I think the meat will be cool enough for me to roll it. Okay, and it's gonna be beautiful because we have many colorful vegetables that gonna go into our spring rolls, and if this roll is too big, we can chop it and shape it. Okay, but that's the size that I need. Okay, so, and then I make a little flour out of it, like that, just for fun. Okay, I mean, just a fun idea that you can be creative about everything. Yeah, so I'll be back. I still have the chicken that we need to cook, and just to show you an idea is that this is what I do. And then I already have noodles that my daughter made this noodle the night before, so she wanted to make this, but then I didn't have time to be home to make it for her, so it's already forming as little yeah, so the noodles are done. So you will need these noodles. You cook the noodles and then you drain it, and this is what we're gonna add into our spring rolls. Okay, or I show you two ways to eat this. Okay, we can roll it up or we can eat it in a bowl. It's called bánh cuốn. No, hold on, no, not bánh cuốn, bánh hỏi. Vietnamese language are complicated. Bánh cuốn is the one that we have to steam it, right, with the fillings, and bánh hỏi is the kind of food that we have the meat with the sauce, with the dipping sauce overlay it, and the vegetables and the noodles. That's bánh hỏi. Okay, and bánh hỏi noodles is a little bit different than the regular rice noodles, but then you can use this as well. And then you have spring rolls here. Now the difference between the spring roll and the egg rolls is that, so the spring roll has its name, right? That's why it's called spring rolls, because it's typically made out of raw vegetables. Okay, if you don't like raw vegetable, you can blanch it first. To me, I wash it really good and make sure that my cucumbers wash good, carrots, anything that I need to wrap it, wash good, and then I don't have to worry about contamination. And also, I'm gonna use this cover here. Okay, will allow it to breathe. If I use aluminum, I don't like use aluminum foil anymore, or even the plastic wrap for this, because it needed to breathe, and I want to keep this away from exposure to to room temperature and will dry up my meat. Okay, so this will give the good amount of installation or air to flow, and will keep my meat moist. And when I come back, it'll be perfect because that would be the amount of time that I need to blend it. I mean, not blend it, to leave it in the room temperature until the meat is cooling down in for me to handle. Okay, so I apologize for leaving in the middle of my project. I hate it, but if I don't, then catching Ubers can be economical. No, not economical. It could be expensive. So I'll come back less than an hour. I'll log back on here and in time for me to show you how to wrap beautiful spring rolls. Okay. If you already know how, just stay with me, just have fun and have a conversation. I love seeing you here on my show, and I will do my best to do food that will taste good, food that will be beautiful, food that will be healthy also. All right, until I'm back in should be right. สวัสดีค่ะ